Hey there everyone, my name is Jason Winter, and this is the MMOBomb first look for Overwatch 2, the sort of sequel to Blizzard's very popular hero shooter. Came out in 2016, the original. This version just came out a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to show you, first of all I'm going to show you the gameplay of it, which, if you're familiar with Overwatch, you know that it's a PvP shooter. You know that it's got a bunch of different heroes you can try out, different roles and so forth. They have changed a few things in it. Admittedly, it looks on the surface, it looks very similar to the original game. There are a few differences though if you play it, and even for someone like me, a pretty experienced player with, at least 1,000 hours or so in Overwatch, it definitely has taken some getting used to. So if you're used to the game as it was before, you're going to notice a few different things here. It's going to play a little differently. Some of the heroes are switched up. There's also a new map type, which is what we're going to be playing in this video right here. It's the push map type, where both teams have to push a robot a certain distance. It's sort of like a payload map, but each team can push the payload. So I'm going to be playing with Kiriko, who's one of the new heroes that they introduced in Overwatch 2. They introduced 3 new heroes, 1 support, which is Kiriko, 1 damage, which is Sojourn, and a tank, which is the Junker Queen. And something else you're going to notice right away is there's only 5 players per side. That's also new in Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 1 was 6v6. Here you're getting a look at Kiriko's abilities. Her left click is her basic heal ability. It sounds like her little talismans. They have a semi-homing capability to them, so they require a little bit of aim. Like you sort of have to aim in the direction of your allies, but not especially. I just hit her E ability, which puts out a little thing that makes it so that your characters don't take damage for very briefly. They're very briefly invulnerable. And it also cleanses any bad conditions. Her right click is her basic attack with the little knives she throws out. They do bonus damage with a headshot. She also has the passive ability that she can wall climb, just like Genji or Hanzo, if you're used to how they work. And her ultimate is the Kitsune Fox Spirit that she sends out, which greatly increases reload speed, cooldowns, and also rate of fire for anyone in its vicinity. So you see here, the robot starts right in the middle here, and we have a barrier we want to push. They have a barrier they want to push. It takes 30 seconds to unlock. You just unlock now. And that's, oh, I forgot about that ability. Her shift ability lets her teleport to an ally. So she gets right up next to someone, which can be good, but it can also be bad. You can run right into stuff and get you in big trouble if you're in a little too tight. And in that case, I got in definitely too far. I have to stay behind my tanks. That's something I've been learning with her. I try not to be too aggressive. She can do some pretty good damage if she lands those headshots. But she's definitely still a support. Definitely still a support. But it's nice that with her shift ability that she can get into battle very quickly. Or at least recover from, like right here, getting close. And you can see we're pushing the robot, so I'll take a little shortcut here. Get over like that. And send those out to try and heal up my allies. Get right next to my Zarya, who then drops down. So she's, again, that was a case where I got a little scared. I was like, uh-oh, okay, I'm fine. Alright, heal up the Pharah. So yeah, a lot of this is going to look familiar to you. So like I said, if you've played Overwatch before, you're probably familiar with how a lot of it goes. But it does feel a little different. And it is, you could say, and I've heard people say, oh, it's like a big patch. And it is sort of in a way. It is very similar to the old Overwatch. You're going to feel somewhat at home, but also somewhat different based on how you play it. Again, the big difference is that they've gone 5v5 now, so we've lost a tank on each side. And this is a case where I'm up close here, and I'm going to try to get away. Try to shift to my ally, but that still is going to be down. Oh well. But I was pushing the robot for a while there while they were distracted by the rest of my teammates. We got pretty far. You can see up top there, you can see, of course, the time limit. If anybody pushes the robot to the end of the track, which as you can see there's 2 checkpoints, they'll win the match if they push to the end of the track. Or if they don't, when time runs out, then whoever's gotten the farthest is the winner. So again, I'm just getting back into it now. I found myself really, like, I don't know, enjoying the gameplay. Certainly, I used to play a lot of Overwatch, so I liked it. But I am liking this a lot more than I thought I would. I played a little in the demo, or a little in the beta, one of the betas that they ran a long time ago. I wasn't sure what I felt about it. But I have really been enjoying the gameplay. The problem is going to be the Battle Pass and the monetization, which we'll get into in the second part of this video. That's definitely been not well received, to say the least. Now, it helps that because I had Overwatch, I had access to everything. They made it so that if you previously owned the game, you had access to all the heroes. If you didn't, you'd have to unlock them, which, there's my ultimate right there. I'll throw that out there. And that makes a little track sort of where my fox goes along. You can't see it because I get pushed back, but it's sort of going into that room there. And hopefully everybody's going to stay alive long enough for me to use it. Not really. I think it's expired now. We get in there, take care of the Zenyatta, and basically have a team kill. All right. But yeah, because I owned the game previously, I had everything unlocked. If you don't, you have to unlock stuff as you go, unlock heroes. The amount of time that takes is going to be a while. Again, if you're a brand new player, maybe you don't mind as much. I should say, of course, that the other big difference, of course, between this and Overwatch 1 is that Overwatch 2 is free to play. So if you didn't have the game ever, you can get into it and you can play, but it's going to take a while to get up to par with what everyone else has, basically, because you are lacking all the hero choices and so forth. And you'll certainly lack cosmetics, but that's going to be, again, a topic for another time, as in like about 7 or 8 minutes from now. That'll be the time for it. And this is why I play support, because I can't aim. Oh well, please don't at me. I know I'm bad. But at least I can listen to my teammates when they say they need healing. Alright, I've got that much skill. Oh! Junkrat trap. I'm fine. So something else that every character has, every role has a different little passive as well. For supports, they do get passive healing even when they're out of combat. So even when I hit that trap, I wasn't too worried, because there was nobody around me and I knew I would heal up. It cost me half my health, but I knew I'd heal up just naturally. Damaged characters, or damaged heroes rather, have the ability to get a quicker reload once they get a kill. So that's also useful. And tank characters feed less ultimate charge to their enemies when they are hit. So you can't as easily farm up your ultimates just by whacking down someone's Roadhog or Reinhardt or whatever. And we were doing really well for a while here, but now they're pushing us back a bit, which is nice. I don't like when a match is completely one-sided, even if we're the ones. And I try to get out of there and forget there's a window, so I can't exactly go through. I want to hold on to my ultimate because we got just nobody here practically. And I see that trap. I see that trap, Junkrat. Oh, I also see that too. Tank should be getting back any time now. We're getting kills though. This is good that I'm hanging back. Good job by our Pharah there, getting at least one kill. And well, so much for that Riptire. Yeah, let's see. I think who's changed a lot here? Zarya can now do 2 bubbles, and she can do them on herself or on an ally, and can any combination thereof. So she's got more flexibility. In general, because they're a solo tank now, tanks are a lot more durable. Like on average, maybe about an extra 100 or so health for most of them, because they're the only tanks that you have. So it's been different playing tanks, certainly. That's definitely a different sensation, not having that extra tank around to sort of take some of the pressure off you. But it's also different playing as other roles as well, because again, you don't have that extra meat shield out there, so you have to be more independent, I guess, in what you do and how you deal damage and how you don't get hit. Like I said, that's part of the subtle change. If you just watch it, you don't really notice anything really, but when you play for a while, you recognize the difference between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. Which again, not drastic. It's not like it's a completely different game. But I should mention too, you probably heard there's going to be a PvE in Overwatch 2. That is something they're going to have, but it's going to be coming out later next year, I think. I think during the spring is when they have it planned for. And that will not be free to play. That will be I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know if they said $40 or not. I might be making that up. But it will definitely not be free to play. I don't really know exactly how all the unlocks are going to work on it and so forth. I mean, it showed a little bit of like progression and how you gain new abilities and whatnot. But in terms of hero unlocks, I don't know if you're going to get them all. Are you? I don't know. They're not saying anything, which they didn't say much about the monetization in this version either until very late, and we all know why. It's pretty obvious. But anyway, so we're doing pretty well here. We have a very big lead on them. And only 2 minutes left to go, but of course we can push the robot to the end and just straight up win. And their guys, they're changing out their tanks a lot. That's the reason that the whole thing about hero locking is a little iffy, because you have to change heroes so much in Overwatch. It's still a thing you can do all the time. But, you know, it's if you don't have half of them available. And, oh, I should say, though, you can buy a pack, though, that will let you ignore all the, that lets you unlock everything. So it's like, people who are saying, well, you know, you need that to learn your heroes when you're new. And it's like, yeah, sure you do, but you can just pay to ignore that. You can pay to ignore the tutorial of having to learn how to play heroes. So it's not really about tutorializing. So I don't know. I was gonna make this part of the video the happy part, the fun part, because we're playing a game. I'm already getting cynical. Oh, but wait, I'm gonna get even more cynical. Promise. And, oh, that Riptide took out 2 people, but I'm still on the bot, and our Zarya is holding the door, and we pushed it across. Hey, all right. Victory. Now you see here too, there's something else. By pressing tab, you can pull up the stats, which I haven't heard massive toxicity about it, but I think that you're going to at some point. I think I will at some point. I haven't played competitive yet, so maybe that's why. I've only really been doing quick play, so I don't know. Yeah, good play, Farah. GG. We got that. Got that. All right, and here's my XP. Look at all the XP I'm going to get here. I'm going to gain a level. I've reached 19 on the Battle Pass. That's all going to be amazing. Look at all that XP I got. All right. Yeah, about that. Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. So I'll be back in a moment. All right, now that we've seen the fun part of Overwatch 2, let's look at the rest. And let's just start right here with the Battle Pass. Now it says they're new, because hey, I just leveled up. You saw that in the last match. I got leveled up. I got something new in the Battle Pass. What did I get? Let's see. I actually got something? No. It put me over here. Oh, no, I did get something new. I did get the Zenyatta voice line. All right. Which is...
Perhaps we only exist in the memory of a person now gone.
That's heavy, man. But anyway, here you can see everything that I've acquired so far, from Tier 1 to Tier 19 to the Battle Pass. Now, I haven't paid for the Battle Pass. I'm only on the free tier, so that's why I've only got 5 things. And I've got these 5 things through maybe around 10 hours of gameplay, 10 to 12 or so that I've done since the game came out. Now, you compare that to what we used to get, which, yeah, loot boxes, I know. But if you played 10 hours, you were going to get at least, 8 to 10 loot boxes, and you'll get, shall we say, more than 5 things. So that certainly doesn't feel as good as it used to. And you can look here, you can see it's kind of your typical Battle Pass in the sense that there are premium and free stuff. Of course, most of it is premium, so to get virtually anything, you have to pay. I've only gotten a few things so far. The hero herself, new hero Kiriko, if you weren't grandfathered in from being an old Overwatch League player or Overwatch player, you would only get if you bought the Battle Pass, or if you made it all the way to level 55. That's when you get her for free. Now, for future seasons, they're going to do a new season every 2 months. That will be the only way to get a hero. Like, you won't get grandfathered in for being an old Overwatch League, or I keep saying that, old Overwatch player. You'll only have to get to level 55 or pay for the Battle Pass. And that certainly has been a point of contention. I wish it was lower. I think you could get just fine if you made it around level 25 or 30, because people are going to want that right away. That said, it's not the absolute worst thing around. Because as I said, it's taken me like a dozen hours to get this far. And so it's going to take me, to get to 55 would take me around 40 hours maybe, 40 to 50 hours, and you have 2 months to do it. That's not ridiculously awful. It still kind of stinks that it takes that long. I wish it was more like around 15 to 20 hours, like I said, around level 30 or so. But that's not the worst thing. The worst thing is that, again, you're getting hardly anything overall. Like, if I got to level 20 and I had premium, I could get this cool skin. Which, again, I get it. A lot of people are going to come at this and are going to say, well, they're all just cosmetics. It doesn't affect gameplay. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but when you're used to a certain thing, if you're used to how it used to go in previous Overwatch, it doesn't feel good. Like something I keep thinking about over and over in this game is that with Overwatch 2, in Overwatch 1, you got the loot box, you got the shiny, you got the explosion and everything, glittery loot and so forth. And people always talk about that in a lot of games as being that dopamine hit. When you get that new level, you get that new gear or whatever, they talk about the dopamine hit, feeling good about getting the new thing. And it seems like they have gone so far to remove all the dopamine in this game. Like, you just don't get hardly anything. And it just doesn't feel like you really progress at all. The only people I've seen who have said they like how things are going is people who are saying, oh, Blizzard, I love the new Battle Pass. I love the new monetization. I'm not tempted to spend on anything. I'm saving so much money. I used to buy an occasional loot box here or there. But now I don't. So thanks, Blizzard. So, yeah. It hasn't been well received, as I said previously. Now, if you go to the actual shop to get more things, of course, you can go to the shop. And you can buy all these bundles and various skins and so forth. I can buy the Sojourn thing for 1,500 tokens, which is about $15. Your typical, 1,000 tokens for $10 sort of a thing. And I'll get I'll get an elite skin, I'll get a highlight intro, and I'll get a voice line.
Murphy, down.
And I'll get a spray. All that for $15. Oh, sorry, it should be $19, but they're giving us a discount. It's 21% off. Great job. And it has special things just for me, apparently. I can buy this one skin for $20. It's a Rissa skin, which I believe used to be available in summer loot boxes, or you could pay for it with your tokens. Now, notice I do have a little bit of the currency. I have 30 currency. How did I get that currency, you ask? Well, that comes through the dailies. It comes through the daily challenges, or weekly challenge. Daily and weekly challenges, both. Here you see daily challenges. And if you do these, you get Battle Pass XP. Now, if you do one daily challenge, you get 3,000. Another 3,000 for 2, another 3,000 for 3. And again, because these are pretty easy to get, that makes the Battle Pass a little easier to deal with. That's why I've done as far as I've gotten in like 12 hours or whatever. But you only get these for the first 3 you do. And that's why it seems like a lot, because you get, it's 10,000 XP per level. So you do basically one match, sometimes 2. Sometimes you need a little bit more here. I could have emoted to a support hero to get one of my dailies. So I mean, that's trivially easy. And you only get around 1,000 XP per match outside of this and other weekly and other achievements you'll get. So the diminishing returns for playing past that first game or two are really weak. I've had so many days where I just log in, get my dailies, and I leave because I'm not going to get anything otherwise. I do a match and I get like 800 XP, and I'm like, well, why bother? I can work on my weeklies, can work on my seasons, whatever. The weeklies, now here, the weeklies themselves give you 5,000 XP as well, so that's good. That's pretty nice as well. But here's the currency. You only get the currency by paying for it, of course, as mentioned, or by doing weekly challenges. If you complete 4 weekly challenges, you get 30. 8, do 4 more, you get 20. Do 11, you get 10 more. So you can earn up to 60 of this per week. Now remember, a legendary skin that you bought in the shop cost $1,900. So it would take you 32 weeks of doing all your weeklies every week to get enough to buy that legendary skin. So basically, you can't earn the currency in anything resembling a real fashion to actually save up for the really good stuff, for the stuff that was, what was it, $1,900 for that, $1,500, $2,200. Yeah, so there's nothing cheap. There's nothing I can get that's just like, oh, hey, $500, something like that. No, it's all these bundles. I guess I'll look at the heroes in a little bit. You can do that, but maybe it is just the bundles. That could be the issue there. If you look at individual heroes, like I'll take Junker Queen here. All their stuff is available. Okay, for the old credits. These are the old credits that I had from playing Overwatch 1. But and again, I only have access to those because I played Overwatch 1. Oh, now it shows me. Why does it show me in regular currency? Okay. Yeah, if you didn't play Overwatch 1 and have this saved up, I'm not sure how you'd get these. I don't know what the exchange would be. Also, should be noted, in the first Overwatch, these kind of skins cost $75. These ones cost $250. These ones cost $1,000. So they've kind of increased that as well. And there's all the various categories, the emotes. Collectibles, they've added souvenirs, which are another little thing you can get. Yay. Nah. The highlighted, the winning victory poses, voice lines. sprays, and so forth, highlight intros, and of course for same as for competitive, you can get golden guns and so on. But who was I looking at that had? Yeah, okay, here's Soldier. Yeah, to get his to get these skins, it would cost you 1,900. So 1,900 of the regular currency. So again, $19. I don't know if you could buy these with. There's no way to unlock. I don't know if I don't actually want to unlock it. Let me try a Junker Queen skin real quick. I'll just buy one of her cheap ones, just so that's something different. Let's see. Why does it say? So it says yellow currency, but also, well, it's got the white icon, so I guess it's still going to be the white stuff. And hooray, I bought that. Good job, me. But yeah, once you run out of that, and if they don't allow it with other heroes, you're going to have, like I said, no real way to progress unless you spend money either on the battle pass or on the shop. So it's really not that great. And again, like I said, it's all cosmetic, but that's what people have wanted. People have wanted the cosmetics in this game, pretty much more than anything, or along with competitive ranks and so forth. And just taking all that away, and again, I know devs got to eat, you got to make money somehow, but I think you could have made it just a little more possible for players to earn stuff without having to pay. It's like the old players aren't going to be happy because it seems like they've had a lot of stuff taken away in terms of how they can progress. And new players probably aren't going to like it because they're going to look at everything they don't have. Like I mentioned, hero unlocks. You only have I think like 10 or 15 or so available if you're a free player, and the rest are locked until you progress far enough to actually be able to unlock them. So new players aren't going to like that probably. Old players aren't going to like what they've got taken away. So it's like, who's Blizzard satisfying with this system? I don't know. I don't really know. So in the end, I still like it. I still want to play. But I want to feel like my time is worth it. And without some real means of progression, I just don't know that it is. I'm going to log in, I'm going to do my dailies, I'm going to get my 1,000 XP or my 10,000 XP every day and log out most of the time. That's how it's going to go. And I don't really care for that. I wish I felt like I had more of an incentive to play more, but I just don't. Unless I'm playing with friends, or maybe if I'm doing competitive. Competitive is another situation where they also remove the dopamine hits because you only will see your rank updated every 7 wins or every 20 losses. So if you do every match you do, you won't see that up or down thing, which they said they want to do because they didn't want people getting tilted basically from losing a bunch in a row. Delay that kind of crappy feeling, but also delays the good feeling as well. So I don't know. I feel like they just overcompensated a lot of things. Things like the another issue being that you have to have, or at least for new players, you still have to have the ability to receive SMS messages. So you have to be able to have a cell phone plan with a major carrier. So you can't have like a little pay-as-you-go phone just to play the game, which I assume they did because they don't want fraud. They don't want people making tons of Smurf accounts or offering leveling services or whatnot. And I get that as well. But at some point, you got to just realize that you're treating your players like criminals, basically. you gotta open the doors a little bit more. You gotta crack them open a bit. Because they had that for any player. Even for existing players, they couldn't get in if they didn't have the SMS capability. But they changed that after, again, quite a bit of negative feedback. Now, are they going to change the battle pass? Are they going to change the monetization due to the feedback they're getting on that? I wish I could say yes. If you look at what they did with Hearthstone, for instance, they really changed that up. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to give in, if they're going to make any changes, because I just think they think that this is the way to go. And that based on how Overwatch has done over the past few years, because it was really struggling for a while. They definitely were certainly lacking in content, which they're going to do better about now. But they were lacking in content of that. Because of that, we're lacking players, probably lacking income as well. So they probably feel they need to make it up a little bit more. Hopefully they'll figure out a more equitable way to do that, a way to make more people happy. But for now, at least, they just announced they got their 25 million players. So we'll see how long that sticks around going into the next few months. But anyway, that is going to wrap it up for this first look on Overwatch 2. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, head over to MMOBomb.com for all your multiplayer gaming news, reviews, podcasts, interviews, videos like this, so much more. My name is Jason Winter. You can follow me at WinterInformal on Twitter. If you're interested too, you can follow my Overwatch League account at OwlStatsNet. Check that out if you're in the mood. And of course, follow MMOBomb at MMOBomb on Twitter. Have a great day, and I'll see you around.